Hello crafty friends, I'm Sarah Arciniega, and today I will be sharing a 2-page autumn scrapbook layout, and then at the end I also have the haul that I got from the Close to My Heart warehouse sale, so stay tuned if you're into that kind of thing. It's hard to believe that we're already thinking autumn and Christmas, but it's true, it's here. Stampin' Up actually released some new products today about Christmas and fall, and so I will put a link down below. But today, these are actually Stampin' Up's Nestled Essential Dies, and I told you in a video a while ago that these are quickly becoming one of my favorite sets of dies. I've used them on several layouts, but today I'm going to be using the hexagons. They're elongated hexagons, and I am using the second to the largest hexagon. A nice design element is always repeated shapes. There's lots of layouts out there that use this design element, and so today that's what I'm going to be doing. I kind of was having a hard time with my placement, and so I actually pulled out this book, and these are squares, but I decided to use the same concept but use hexagons instead of squares. And because I'm doing a 2-page layout, I will basically have two triangles of space open and then a diagonal strip. Here I'm showing it again. So I'll have a diagonal strip of the hexagons with the 2 triangles at the bottom left and then the top right open for other things. So here I'm kind of placing the hexagons just loosely, trying to spread the color around and the patterns around, and have to shuffle some things around. They get shuffled many more times. But I'm just kind of seeing how this is going to look. I do like the mixture of the cardstock and the pattern papers. I think it just balances things out really well. I am bringing in the Gnomes for Autumn stamp set, and I'm going to go ahead and just pull the stamp set or the stamps off of the carrier sheet and place them on my layout just to give me an idea of what this is going to look like when I stamp. And so I put the little pumpkin down here at the bottom. I have two leaves floating there at the top. I will also repeat some leaves up in the top right. And then the thankful title actually came from a different set. It actually came from the Woodland Friends stamp set, but it's just a nice bold script, and I thought it would look really nice there as my title. So I don't have the 12 by 12 Misty. Sometimes you have to get by with what you have though, so I'm not sure how this is going to work out at this time. I am not sure if it's going to leave a crease on my white cardstock, and so this is kind of an experiment, but I go ahead and adhere the thankful to the door of my Misty. I'm stamping it or covering it in espresso ink, and I'm going to go ahead and see what this does. If it leaves a big crease where the door, hits the 12 by 12 paper. I always have to wipe up some excess ink with my chamois before I close the door. Here I close the door. There again, I don't have the fancy little thing you rub on the top. I just use my fist. It works. But as you can see, there are a few spots that don't have full coverage, and so that's why this Misty is so nice. So I'm going to stamp it up. I actually end up doing it 3 times just to get it nice and bold, and it actually does not leave a crease, and so that's good to know because I've actually not used it a few times thinking I needed the 12 by 12 if I had a 12 by 12 paper. So it's good to know that I can do this for future projects. I did make sure that I lined up my paper so it's in the same exact spot, and I do get a good image. Like I said, after the 3rd time I thought it looked really sharp, and the color was everywhere. So I like the way that looks, and so now I've pulled out some scraps of paper, and I'm just there again experimenting with what colors and how I want to do this. So basically, like you can see with the pumpkins, like I tried tone on tone, black on the orange paper, and then I tried some things on the white paper. I wasn't sure if I wanted to use my alcohol markers or just use the cardstock, and so I just kind of experiment and see what I like, and eventually the rest of it gets used either by myself or one of my kids. So here I have the hexagons laid out again. I've actually added one more row. I did that because I'm already working with pictures that were printed. This is from 2007. These are really old pictures. In fact, I couldn't even find the digital files. And I went to do that because like even some heads are chopped off, and I'm not sure if that's how the picture was or if that's just how they were printed. But I can't find the digital files, and so I'm going to use what I have. And so the reason I added that last row of hexagons is because of the size of all these pictures. There just wasn't a lot of the hexagons showing, and so I thought it needed one more row. What I just showed there was that I did like all of the pictures pushed together closely when you left like a margin around them and you could only see like bits and pieces of the hexagon. I didn't actually like how that looked. I thought it was distracting. I did add an espresso border to the whole page. I just thought it helped contain all of the hexagons, and so that's why I added the border around. But you can see that I did leave some openings where I didn't need hexagons, just to save on some paper. So I'm finally gonna glue or tape these down, but I just thought I would show this little trick. I do this quite a bit actually. So I just cut a piece of paper how big I wanted the space in between the hexagons, and so rather than having to look at the numbers and figure all that out, I can just use a small piece of paper and use it as a spacer. It's kind of like tile, like when they grow out the tile and they put the little spacers in, same idea. And so that just works for me better than having to figure out numbers and eighths of inches and things like that, and so it works pretty well. So here I have the little stamps that I cut out with my thin cuts, and so I did decide to do the orange cardstock pumpkin, but here I have the leaves, and I'm going to bring some of those in. I'm going to do 2 here on the lower left. I am paying attention to the color, like I don't want an orange one there next to that pumpkin, and then I'm going to put 3 up here, and there again I don't want the orange one right by the orange one, and so here I put the brown, and then I use a red one as well. But I decided very quickly that it needed something. I was kind of debating, like, do I want to do some ink blending or a stencil? But there's so much going on already with all the different patterns that I looked to my stamps collection, and I found this. This is from the Honey Bunny card making workshop, and it's a butterfly set, but it has the little movement lines for the butterflies. And I thought, well, that's perfect. I can just add the little lines like the leaves are blowing in the wind. So I put the little lines on my blocks, and now I'm going to pull out my espresso ink and add the little movement lines. And I'm hoping that that will make that space a little more interesting without making it too busy. And so this Thanksgiving, this is actually a Thanksgiving page. Like I said, it's from many years ago. I was actually still single at the time, and my family went up to visit a brother and his family up in Wisconsin. And so that's what this page is all about. And we had a lot of fun, and I don't actually remember like a ton. So like when I went to do the journaling, I actually had to call my mom and like as we talked, we remembered some details and things like that. But that's why it's always good to do your journaling earlier than later. I did rotate the lines just so that they looked a little different, and here I'm going to put the last 2 on. I don't think I ever said what paper collection I used either. This is actually the Close to My Heart Gnomes for Autumn, and it came out last fall. And today actually Stampin' Up released the last installment of the Gnomes, and so if you like the Gnomes collection, you can pick up Gnomes for Summer today on the Stampin' Up website. So here we have my journaling. I printed it out on honey butter. At first I did white, and I decided it was just too stark, and so I went with the honey butter. I also made it a smaller margin. It's only 1/8 of an inch around the journaling, and I like that better. That's pretty much a wrap on the page, but like I said, here is the haul I got at the Close to My Heart warehouse sale. So the warehouse sale was in Pleasant Grove, Utah, and I actually don't live in Utah, but it just turned out that I had a niece getting married in Utah, and it coincided with the sale. So it was good luck, and I got to go. They had some of the Christmas kits from last year with the cards. These were from before my time, but I just thought they were fun, bright colors and could be used on cards or bases of embellishment clusters. This, I believe, is from Life's a Hoot. There again, that was before I was a maker, but I just thought these colored circles could make a really cute layout with these butterflies, or they could make really cute cards. This paper, I believe, was part of that workshop as well, and this gray possibly was as well. They just had huge boxes of the parts of like the different kits and stuff like that, and they were very economical, and so I picked up quite a bit. The next section, this came from the Home for Christmas that came out last December, and so this gray paper I thought was just a great neutral to have in my stash. Can see using that on lots of different projects. Here I have this paper that came from the Home for Christmas. I actually did a Disney layout on this, and so now I'm like, cool, now I can go back and do the Christmas one. Cute 4th of July. This is from a Cut Above kit that just came out recently. There's the base paper as well as the little strips of paper, and then those florals will be really pretty, I think, on a card as well. The stickers there, again, they just had stacks of the stickers, and so I picked up a bunch, and they are just going to be fun to use or give away to my customers or whatever you know, I decide to do with them. But this is the garden set that was around before I was a maker. And then here's Evergreen. I did actually purchase this back when it came out, but I just love this kit for nature as well as like Christmas, and so I never did get the workshop though, and so I did get some pieces of that. And then this one is Cozy Up, and the books, I did one layout for my son, but I would like to maybe do a similar layout for my other kids, and so that worked well that I could get some more book stickers. And then I'm not even sure what that set is from, but I thought it was fun. And the birthday set, this is from before my time as well, but you know, there's always birthdays and lots of cards as well. And I believe this one was before my time as well, but it's just fun, bright colors. And then this one is from Silver Bells, and this, I never actually got the workshop kit either. I often don't, just because they're more expensive, and sometimes you have to decide like what you want and what you don't. And so a lot of times I would just get the paper packs and the stickers. But this is Life is Good. There again, I just got the stickers and the paper, and so I never got the workshop set. And I always really wanted it though, because it had this adorable paper, this one right here. And so I'm so excited that I finally have this paper, because I just loved this paper. But like I said, you have to pick and choose where you spend your money, and so I never did get the workshop kit, and now I have the cute paper. But they had a lot of the extra paper from this one, and so here's the mocha dots. This distress paper has been one of my favorites as well, and have the Harbor Gingham on the other side, this wood grain with the windmills on the other side. Like, it pretty much was the whole set, and they just had it loose. This next, I'm not even sure what collection this came from, but it was just red and white, kind of more a scarlet actually. But I just picked up a bunch, kind of thinking Christmas cards, and so that's kind of what the next section is. It's a bunch of red paper that I thought would make great Christmas cards. Next up is some UV coated cardstock, and they actually had all of the UV coated like Journey cardstock that they just released not too long ago, and I didn't pick any of it up, and since I've been home, I'm like, I've already had regrets about not picking it up. I believe this collection was called Freshly Baked, and it was before I was maker as well, and it is just a really cute baking set, especially holiday baking, but there's some really cute like milk and cookies paper in this set. This actually is the whole paper set right here. Honestly, I probably would have picked up even more, but because I don't live there and we were flying, I was very limited on what I could get as it was. I actually bought like a plastic container at Michael's and put a bunch of the paper in a like checked in bag. So the day we flew home, I actually was carrying close to my heart sacks around the airport. They were quite heavy because paper does get heavy when it, you know, adds up. My kids actually took turns carrying them, so it was like all of our backpacks and the close to my heart paper with my 4 kids and my husband, and but it all made it home okay, and there's, you know, it's not like bent or anything like that. So they did actually have some bulk paper packages as well, so that's a Christmas one. Here's another birthday one. I didn't actually get this beach set when it came out, and that's actually about the time I became a maker, and I didn't actually snag it fast enough, and so I was glad that they had some of it. And this is a really cute, bright set that I think was around before I was a maker as well. And so here's even more, like it just keeps coming, right? This was, I believe, from the Beach Party collection. These stripes are really, really cute. And then this sunburst paper, I think, will be really fun. This next package, I start pulling it out, but I figured you probably didn't need to see all of it. But it's the Irresistible paper. And then this was a whole workshop of the Gnomes for spring. And it had all of the like coordinating cardstock and the papers and the acrylic shapes and the photo placeholders. And these were like seriously so cheap. I thought they would make really cute like shaker card bits. And so that's why I got these. These are the Journey sequin, same thing. I thought they'd be cute in shaker cards. This is an embossing folder. I almost bought this like so many times. It has like a sunburst on it, and I think it will be a really fun addition to have. And here I open it up so you can kind of see it. It's hard to pick up on camera. But then they had their dies. Their dies were like $1 a piece. And the first day I went, I actually went 2 days. we went the first day I got there, and then the last day right before we flew out was originally, I think, going to be the last day they were opened, and then they extended it. But things had already been marked down, and so you could actually get like multiple dies for $1. And so it was a really good deal. These, I'm really excited. I have some animal stamps that I'm going to use with those leaves, and I picked this up for a customer that only got the stamp set, so I thought she might enjoy that. And then these are little sprigs, and this diagonal slimline one is going to be fun for some cards. And then the doilies, I see a lot of YouTube process videos where people use those, and I really haven't liked them, and so I finally have them now. Somehow I picked up 2 workshops of the Let's Party. It was kind of chaotic, like keeping track of what you had and what was on what table and things like that, and so I ended up with 2 of those, but that's okay. And then I have a whole workshop for the card making kit from Honey Bunny, and that, I actually have 2 stamp sets of that now, so I'll have to look for a home for that second one. But cardstock was like $3, so that was awesome. And then these are the stamp set that's stitched alphabet, and then this pennant one was really fun with all the different little words to go in the flag there. And this I almost picked up towards the end, but I ended up not, and then I got it for a really good deal. We really enjoy playing games as a family, so that will be a fun one. And then you can't ever have it too many travel stamps. The snowman one, like so many of these I almost bought, like, or wanted when they came out, and just couldn't get them all. And so it was really fun to find some of those in the stamps that they had. This one's fun. It extends, and these are really cute. They have a number for each day of the month in December, and then there's some really cute thin cuts in there too. I thought this set would be really cute on cards. They're just some bold greetings. And then this watermelon one that just recently came out right before they closed, and this is one at Christmas time that there again kind of wanted but didn't get. And this one I've seen so many people use on like YouTube process videos, and there again, it was before my time, but they had it there, and I love that nature title. So cute. These envelopes I picked up, all of these were like $1, and I just thought they would be good to store things. They fit really well in these baskets that I store my stamps in, and so just for miscellaneous things, I thought that would be good to have. And then I got shimmer trim, and I actually got one more Journey. I don't know. I used it on a page, so it's probably out somewhere. The inks weren't like deeply discounted, but they did have some, and so I went ahead and picked them up while I was there. I didn't have any of those colors besides Candy Apple, and Candy Apple I thought it might be good to have more than one at Christmas time. This was a card set that had some cute sentiments with some pre-done cards. So that's my haul. Here's the page. Thanks for joining me today. As I mentioned, I will put links for all of the new goodies that hit the Stampin' Up website today. I do actually have some projects in the works with some of those new items. Hope you have a great day. Bye-bye.